All right, Sunrise
Hello, hello.
for the live Q&A. We would like to thank everybody. Sorry, this one's a little dark. We would like to thank everybody for the questions that we got asked, and we look forward to hopefully helping you with your answers. I'm going to allow a couple minutes for people to get on. Maybe somebody will get on. If not, it'll be live and you'll be able to check it out later. Wait just a minute here. See what happens. Who we got on? What's up, Preston?
Hi, Preston.
I can't see who's on Facebook, but a few people are on. I am going to go ahead and start with our Q&A. So, the first question that we got was, is it better to go all in or to gradually start a weightlifting program? What you got?
My answer to that
Hi, Megan.
would be to gradually. If you've never weightlifted before, I wouldn't go all in and just put forth 100% effort and work super hard at it. The reason being is a lot of times when you do that, you work so hard that you get to where you're too sore and then you want to quit because you're too sore to want to work out, I guess is my answer. So to gradually start and, start at a slower pace and build up, you're going to be more liable to stick with it and not give up so much because you're not going to overexert yourself. That's my answer.
Sure, and I'll go on top of that. Obviously, she said, if you've never lifted weights before, but even if it's been a while since you have, take it slow, take it easy. Start with some body weight, do some good form. Get some cardio in. Maybe hit the treadmill or the running trail or whatever. If you're going from never or haven't in a while worked out, just slowly, gradually start exercising and making the 1 degree change that we talk about every day. And it'll all pick up as you keep going, and then as gradually as you keep going, keep adding more and more and more, and get to where you want to be. So with that, just keep pushing, keep grinding on that one, and do what you got to do. All right. Hey, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Do you take a post-workout supplement and supplements?
What you got?
I personally do not. I haven't in quite a while. I've really switched to eating whole foods, drinking water, getting sun, getting as much rest as I can, and I've really kicked back in the supplements department. I do, however, take a protein drink at some point in the day, and then I also take Emerge, which is a caffeine supplement. Other than that, I don't personally take anything. But what I will say with supplements is that they are literally that. They are there to supplement your diet. So even with kombucha and Fit Aid and pre-workouts and post-workouts and gut bacteria and all the shit that you can take for everything, I like to focus first and foremost on my diet itself. Get the food intake in. Do the food. What's up, Scotty?
Hey, Scott.
Do the food. Eat healthy food. Get all of your diet in check, and then start being concerned with supplements. Like I said, they're literally a supplement for your diet. If I were to take a post-workout supplement, it would be I would say around 30 grams of protein and 45 grams of carbohydrates, quick digesting. So maybe something like a couple of bananas and a protein shake, maybe some beef jerky and a sweet potato or a Cliff Bar or something like that. Just, something organic, something quick, something easy. It'll help out just as much as any of the powders or stuff that you can buy. You?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like he said, I used to take a pre-workout before I worked out. I used to take a post-workout. I don't do that anymore. And exactly what he said. Like, I try to supplement most of my stuff with actual food. So, I make sure I'm getting as much protein as I can and carbs. And then if I need to supplement, I'll use a protein powder of some sort. But other than that, I don't. I try to get everything from whole natural foods if I can.
Sure. So the next question we got is it better to just do cardio for weight loss? What do you got?
My answer is no. You want to, for weight loss, you really want to have a mix of cardio and weight training. Cardio is good to really get your heart rate up and going, but you're going to want some sort of resistance or weight training to help build that muscle, and it's actually in the long run going to help burn more fat as well.
Yeah, so cardio, like let's say we do 30 minutes on a treadmill at a decent pace. Mm-hmm. You're gonna burn calories for them 30 minutes. And that's it. So basically what it says that you burn 280 calories in 30 minutes or whatever the machine says. That's great. Well, that's all. That's basically virtually the only calories you're going to burn. So let's say now instead of that, we're going to do 10 rounds of squats and push-ups and burpees, and it takes 25 minutes. Well, that resistance training on top of the cardio, getting your heart rate up, on top of getting the blood flowing and stuff like that, you might burn calories for the next 24 hours. Your body adjusts to that, and it creates where you're going to continue to burn calories even after you're done working out. And that's why we at a minimum, I would say equal weight training to cardio. So 30 minutes of weight training, 30 minutes of cardio, if that makes sense, or 15, however you want to do it. But at minimum 50-50. I actually lean more to the weight side. Lift weights faster. That's my cardio. So with that, it'll help maximize fat loss, and also, like Tanya said, tone you up a little bit as you go. So that would probably be where we're at with that.
And one thing that I want to mention too is, like, a lot of girls are afraid to lift weights because they're afraid that they're going to bulk up and look like a bodybuilder, and that is not the case at all. You're not going to be some huge bodybuilder or look like a man with big muscles if you lift weights. It's not going to happen. So don't be afraid to lift weights. I encourage it. I've been lifting weights for years, and I clearly don't look like I'm a bodybuilder. So, I mean, just use it. Don't be afraid of it. Start out with lighter weights, continue to build up, and I promise you it's going to work for you.
Yeah, sure. And that's like, once you start thinking about it, guys' idea is to put on a bunch of muscle and shit, and we work our asses off to get a little bit of muscle that we get. So girls, you have like an eighth of the testosterone that we have, and if we can't do it, you won't be able to do it either. So yeah, don't be afraid of what girls think of getting too big or muscular or buff or whatever you guys want to think. It's good for your muscles, it's good for your bones, it's good for your body. Some weight training is really good for you. So don't be afraid to do all that.
Sure. The next question is it better to work out in the AM or PM?
So that's like a two-part question.
Sure.
So the question is it better to work out in the AM or PM? It's literally all on the person. And it really, to me, depends on the exercises being done. So if you're working like hypertrophy, where you're in the 8 to 12 rep range and really kind of burning your muscles out, as opposed to strength training, I can do the 8 to 12 reps in the morning fine, or 20 reps or 50 reps or whatever. When I get into something like a 5x5, where we're talking 90 to 95% of max.
Or working up to even a 1 rep max.
Yeah, my nervous system's not ready first thing in the morning. I have to do a lot of heavy strength training in the afternoon. Then my body's awake, my nervous system's awake, my brain's awake, my muscles are awake. If I try doing that shit in the morning, I'm just not as strong as I am later in the day. And that's a lot of it, just my nervous system ain't ready to go. And with strength, a lot of times you're actually training your nervous system instead of the muscular system so much. And so I prefer to work out in the morning, though. So a lot of the workouts that we do are workouts that I can do first thing in the morning, and a lot of times we don't have enough weight around at motel gyms or anything like that to do so much strength training based. And so I personally work out in the morning. I like being done in the morning. It works for me. And so, but I've also worked out in the PM. Like I said, if I got on a strength training, I would definitely switch to PM again and not have any problem with that.
Yeah, I completely agree with what he said. I mean, yeah, sometimes like your nervous system is just not ready in the morning. And we have done some heavy, like 5x5s in the morning, and it's just, like he said, it's like your strength is not as good as it is in the afternoon. You're not mentally prepared to lift all that weight. But yeah, it's totally just your preference, what works with your schedule. If you're not a morning person, and you function more, a lot better in the evening or afternoon, use that as your time to work out. It's really not going to make much of a difference.
Sure.
As long as you're getting some sort of movement in, that's really what, you need to be concerned with, that you're doing
Sure.
some sort of movement.
All right, the next part of that question is, should we be fasted, which means not eat anything, or should we be fed before a workout? What's a 5x5? So 5 reps or 5 sets of 5 reps, Scott, usually in like the 85% to 100%. Usually you're like right at 82.5 to 85% of your 1 rep max. So, I mean, it's a strength-focused lift program. We can discuss that anytime you want, Scott. But yeah, 5x5 would be a basically a pure strength program. You'd be looking for your major lifts like bench press, squat, deadlift, and shoulder press. If you're really working strength, you need to be working shoulder press as well. So the second part is fasted or fed. And that, hey, what's up, Brad? Fasted is what I do in the morning. I don't mind fasted cardio. I don't mind lifting fasted first thing in the morning. But the reason that is because the second that I'm done working out, I'm eating breakfast within 20 minutes. So I'm fueling my muscles that I just beat down, and I'm gonna feed them what they need to repair and grow and do what they do. If I were to work out in the afternoon, I would definitely eat something in an hour to an hour and a half beforehand, so I was fed, and that's just how I do it. You really have to figure out how you do it. One guy on here watching has a problem eating in the morning, actually gets like pukey, so obviously don't eat in the morning if you get pukey. And we've worked with him and kind of got a few things figured out with him. But yeah, it's just different ways of doing it. It really depends on you. But I would say if you're working out in the afternoon, I would say be fed. If you're working out in the morning, that's totally up to you. But I would definitely plan on, the first, you got like, there's the metabolic window and blah, blah, blah. A lot of that gets real sciencey. I don't try to get too sciencey. I would try to eat within an hour of being done working out, both in the afternoon and in the morning, but especially if you're fasted in the morning. Like I said, I literally walk out the gym, walk back to where we're at, and eat breakfast. So yes, I do it fasted, but immediately after I'm feeding my muscles the fuel that they need. So, again, take it for what it's worth. Take it the way you need to do it for your body.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, just figure out what works for you, and like don't try to complicate things too much. Just if you're not hungry, don't eat. If you prefer to have something in your stomach because you get jittery, maybe like for instance, when I used to work out in the morning and take pre-workout, I would have to eat something before I took the pre-workout. Otherwise, the niacin and stuff that's in it would make me all itchy and jittery, and so that's what I had to do. But now I work out fasted, and so it's all about finding a balance and finding out what works for you and what works for your body, and just going from there.
Sure. All right, last question, I think. Unless you guys have any questions, shoot them off if you do. Do I really need to carry around / drink a gallon of water every day?
My answer is no. I don't think that you need to literally drink a gallon of water every day. I think as long as you're, how do I say this? As long as you're staying hydrated and drinking plenty of fluids throughout the day, you're fine. Like, you don't need to carry around a gallon of water and, mark to make sure that that's what you're getting. That's just my preference.
Sure. Like during the summertime, I easily probably drink a gallon of water. During the wintertime, I probably easily drink a gallon of water every day. But, like, you see the bro shit with the jugs, and you gotta have a gallon of water, and now there's a challenge going around for 75 days, and there's all these people on all these Facebook groups that are drinking a gallon of water, and they're all, I piss 100 times a day, and I'm miserable, it's so hard. That's because you don't need a gallon of water. So you're over drinking all because you read a challenge on Facebook. If you're not used to drinking that much water, your body's just going to run it right through you. The bigger you get, or the more muscles that you have, or the hotter it is, or the harder that you're working, the more water you're going to need. That's with anything. So obviously stay hydrated. But one thing I like to say is drink more water than you did yesterday. So if today you had 2 glasses of water, tomorrow try to have 3, and then you'll get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm good right here, and you just got to figure out what that is for your body. I would say probably no less than 8 glasses of water a day you're plenty hydrated, but remember that water is what brings fuel to your muscles. Water is what helps you repair. Water is like 82% of your body is made of water. Your eyeballs are like 98.5% water. Like, there's some crazy shit, but like you're a lot of water.
Sure.
So don't be afraid to drink water. But do you need to like have this jug and carry it around and let everybody know that you drink a gallon of water every day? Probably not.
No.
You're probably going to be just fine if you had 8 of these, or 10 or 12 or 50, whatever. But no, you don't need to mark your water and carry it around and do the challenges on Facebook just because somebody told you to drink a gallon of water. A lot of people are really miserable right now, and eventually they'll just quit because it's kind of silly.
Sure.
One
thing I would say, I have a problem drinking enough fluids throughout the day, and that's something that I know and I'm aware of it. So like what I like to do is like make sure that I drink a full glass of water while I'm at the gym, and then before breakfast have water, before lunch have a full glass of water, before dinner. That way like I can kind of make sure that I'm getting enough fluids, because I know that I don't drink enough during the day if I'm not paying attention to it.
Sure, and
that's just how I get.
And what she just said, if you drink a glass of water before breakfast, before lunch, and before dinner, it's actually a weight loss plan, because you'll actually fill up faster. Just slowing down in your food will help you fill up faster. I know that doesn't make sense, but it takes 20 minutes for your brain to send the signal to tell yourself that you are full. So if you are like me and you eat with a shovel, and I eat with a shovel, the ones that you use in a blizzard, I eat with a shovel, and I eat fast. It's crazy, and I've tried to slow down. I try to be aware of it. But I do eat fast, and if you eat slower, you will get full faster. Trust me.
And you could even, like after each bite, take a sip of water.
Sure.
That helps too. That helps slow you down. That helps, you really pay attention to how much you're eating. And of course, you're staying hydrated as well. So it's kind of a win-win.
All right, guys, I don't see any more questions up. I appreciate everybody who asked questions, and I appreciate everybody who is watching. This was our first shot at the live Q&A, and we are going to continue to do stuff like this. We will put it out on Monday and then usually do the live call on Thursday is the plan right now. Also, don't forget that we have a blog now on sunrisenf.com. There's actually 4 blog posts up so far. We're super excited about that, and we hope to hear from you guys and let us know what you think, because it is pretty cool to us. We're kind of telling you our story. We're kind of telling you, what we think and what we believe and how we've changed our lives and how we can hopefully help you change yours. So with that, I know we both have the same shirt on.
We do.
We actually just put our shirts up for sale. We apologize for that. That is actually what crashed Facebook and Instagram yesterday.
So sorry, guys.
Was when we put our shirts up live. We apologize. We know they're awesome. If you weren't able to get one or you couldn't purchase one of every one, we're sorry. It's back. sunrisenf.com.
Check it out.
And we do actually have tank tops now in lieu of spring and summer coming. So
You
with
can
that,
show off your guns.
yeah, when the sun's out, you can let them guns out. With that, again, we thank you, everybody. Make sure there's no questions. Thank you for everybody,
Yes,
and
thank you for watching. Thank
we
you for
will
your questions.
hopefully catch you next week. Spread love.
Bye.